Hey, what is going on guys? Ben here. Now today I have a very exciting video. This one's going to be a little different, more for those of you who travel or gearheads out there, because this is going to be a look at some of the gear I use to film my videos. So in about a month's time, I'm going on a trip to Israel, and I wanted to make a whole video while I'm there. And so I've kind of narrowed down a whole little backpack, like a packing bag for everything that I would need camera gear wise. And so today I wanted to kind of go through what I'm packing, give you guys a sense of what I bring when I'm traveling to a foreign country and filming a vlog there. So this is going to be a look at my travel vlogging setup for those of you who are either planning to go traveling and want to know what to bring, or just those of you that are curious as to what I use when I film my videos, as you will probably see a video from this trip in Israel. So anyway, what do you say we jump inside this bag and take a look at what I am bringing on this trip? So actually first, let's start on the outside. Now this bag itself is called the Lowepro 350AW, and this is my camera travel bag of choice. Now I also happen to have the larger version of this, the 450AW, but the 350 is perfect if I need to stuff it into the underseat of an airplane or just walking around a city all day long with this thing. I don't really want the giant 450 with me all the time, and this fits everything I need when I'm traveling. Because one thing that is very important is weight. When you are traveling, you don't want to be carrying a ton of weight. And so this bag is like just at the limit of kind of having too much stuff in it. If I put anything more inside this, it would be way too heavy to carry. So this bag, highly recommend it. All the links to any of the products I show will be down below. But the first thing on the outside of this bag, you can see it's got this webbing. So I've attached all these things on the outside. So we have my Joby GorillaPod here. This is the best device when you're kind of vlogging. You can use it as a selfie stick, hold it out. I could set it up as a tripod and put it down on things. It is really very versatile, and I actually love this little guy for vlogging. Next, we've got two accessory pouches. These hold kind of my most commonly pulled out accessories where I need quick access. I don't want to go inside the bag, although this bag does have some quick access points to get inside. I'll go into that in a minute. But the bottom bag is all of my GoPro accessories. But in here we have my GoPro Hero Session. This is my GoPro of choice. This is what I use to capture all footage related to water activities or anything where I just want to strap a GoPro to my head, whatever. And then inside the bag, you can see I've actually labeled it GoPro so I know what's inside here. But inside we have a whole bunch of mounts. So I have a head mount, some sticker mounts to put it on a helmet or a surfboard, whatever. I've got some bike mounts and just some other little GoPro accessories, something to attach it to a tripod. This is very handy, and I love keeping all of this inside this little bag. You don't actually need that many mounts when it comes to GoPro. You're really either attaching it to an object or your body, so I just have enough to get it either onto my head or wrist or to an object like a bike handlebar, ATV, or surfboard, something like that. But just enough. You don't want to start carrying too much because it does add up in both size and weight. And you can see these pouches right here. They come with the Lowepro bag, which is very nice. I happen to pick up a second one because only one comes with it. But you see they are Velcro and they slide in and out of the bag. So if I want to take it off, I can, which is very, very nice. Now this top accessory pouch is my lighting pouch, as you can see. So in here I have everything relating to lighting, including my favorite little light. I absolutely love this little guy. This is the Aputure ALMX. This is a extremely bright, tiny little portable light. I can turn it on. You can see this thing is massively bright. And this is great for lighting yourself in a hotel room or a car, really anywhere where you can't bring huge lights like I'm using right now to light myself. This thing is perfect for travel, and that is why it is in my bag when I'm traveling to vlog. Now also in here is, of course, the little tripod adapter for the Aputure light. That way I can kind of screw it into this bottom quarter thread and mount this to either the Joby GorillaPod or the other tripod I brought with me. And then the final thing in this bag, it's actually three things, are ND filters. Because all the lenses that I have for the most part are low aperture lenses, you need ND filters, because if you're filming outside in the sun like I will be in Israel, you're going to want to have something that'll darken up the image. That way you can get that f-stop all the way down and get beautiful cinematic footage. So ND filters are a must. You can see I labeled the heck out of these cases just so that when I pull one out, I know exactly which ND filter I am getting, and these are variable ND filters. That way I just screw them on and I can adjust it how I like. That way I do not have to worry about constantly swapping out ND filters whenever I need to get more light blocked out. And so the last of what is attached to the outside of the bag is my water bottle, and this is held on actually by a carabiner. This is a Thermo Flask water bottle. It's actually like a knockoff brand of the Hydro Flask. I absolutely love this thing. It keeps water cool all day long. This is my travel water bottle because it holds a lot, it doesn't weigh a ton, and water stays cold. And when you're hiking or traveling anywhere, water is a must. That is, I believe, everything that is on the outside of the bag. So why don't you say we open up the inside. Now, one cool thing about this backpack is it does have a top access point under this hard shell, as well as 2 other side access points. But the main access point is actually on the back, and this is kind of to prevent theft or anything that would happen. You really don't want to have your stuff stolen when you're traveling, as that is a high possibility. So having a back opening bag is pretty nice. So let us open up this bag and take a look at all of the gear I have inside. Now, I've stuffed this pretty much to the brim, so let's just go through this and see everything I have. Now, the first thing that you could notice is that this pocket, for the most part, is empty. Now, that is where my camera goes. So to give you a look at the camera, I'm gonna switch to my phone because I'm actually recording on it right now. Okay, so as you can see, right up here is my main camera. This is what I bring around everywhere if I am vlogging. I used to actually bring this camera around. This was my daily camera, but I've just recently upgraded to this. This is the Samsung NX1. Now, this camera is a beast. It does 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p slow-mo at 120. I currently have a 16-50 lens on it. That's f2 to f2.8. Now, that's kind of like my main lens that I have on this thing. It gets super wide, so if I need a vlog with it, I can. But then it can also do telephoto and get really nice bokeh. Now, as you can see, I have these little red Peak Design clips on them, and that is actually to go with my Peak Design strap. Now, for the most part, this strap lives on my camera. This thing is fantastic. I use it basically as a stabilizer because if I need to get smooth footage on the go, but I cannot bring my little Ronin S with me because that thing will weigh my back down, I use this and I wrap it around my neck, and I can use my neck as sort of a stabilizer and get nice smooth footage when I'm vlogging with this rig. But this is basically the camera of choice that I am bringing for Israel. It does not have a flip out screen like that camera, unfortunately, but the autofocus in it is so good that I think I can manage with it. Now, the reason that I put the camera itself into this pocket is, one, it's the largest pocket so it fits, but more importantly, you get this side access point right here. So when this bag is on my back, I can basically reach down to the side, unzip it, and pull out the camera and be ready to go. I don't even need to take it off of my shoulders, which is really, really nice having this little side access point right here. Now, in the compartment directly next to it is my DJI Mavic Pro. This is the drone that I will be bringing. I may end up upgrading to a Mavic Air, we have to see. But for now, the drone that I will bring is a DJI Mavic Pro. And this drone is a beast. It is amazing that I can actually fit this inside my bag. It is great. I use this on basically anything where you see a drone. This is the drone that I use, and so that lives inside that compartment. And that's kind of like my most commonly accessed compartments of the bag. I'm gonna try to use the drone and the camera the most out of all the stuff. And that's why those are the 2 quick access points that I can easily reach inside the bag and grab whatever I need from those pockets. Now let's go through the top of this bag. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is actually the lenses I will bring. So I am going to be bringing probably 4 to 5 lenses. I have to debate whether I want to bring the one that I'm filming this on right now. This is a 12 to 24 millimeter lens, so this is great for vlogging. As you can see, I am super close. I'm touching the lens right now. So this is great if I need to hold the camera out and vlog with it, and it's much wider than the 16 millimeter that I have up here. So I'm debating whether to bring this. I probably will, but if I do, then I'm gonna have to take out another lens. So I still have to figure that out. But basically the 5 lenses that I ever consider bringing are the 12 to 24 that I'm filming on now, the 16 to 50 that this is being filmed on, then a telephoto lens. This is a 50 to 200. This is probably the one that will come out because I already have an 85 1.4 in the bag. This is by far my favorite lens right here. The bokeh on this thing is incredible, and it's just super creamy. Everything looks great. And I will also be bringing this tiny little 50 1.8. Actually, it's a 45 1.8. This is kind of just like a go-to all-around great lens. If I need to get good bokeh, but I can't bring such a massive lens, this thing is well over a pound. So this thing is light, tiny. This one is great for bringing around, but one of these 5 lenses will probably end up going. Don't know which one yet. Most likely the 50 to 200, but either way, my 4 main lenses are the 12 to 24 wide angle, that's for vlogging, 16 to 50, good overall round lens, but if I want to get some bokeh at 50, I've got a 45 1.8, and the real bokeh master here is the 85 1.4. Now I am bringing one other lens with me, but it doesn't really count as a camera lens. Now this little guy is actually a wide angle lens for an iPhone. Now this is great if I want to start vlogging with my phone. For example, if I can't bring a massive camera with me, I'll just put this little guy on a phone and take this little tripod, which is the next accessory that I bring, put on this little plate right here. Everything in my bag, by the way, has quick release plates on it for the most part. That way I can quickly mount stuff. And then I can actually just slot my phone in here, put the wide angle lens on it, and just start vlogging. Now to attach the wide angle lens, I actually use this phone case. So I'll snap this case on my phone whenever I need to vlog with it. For the most part though, I'll probably have some sort of battery case on this phone. Right now, I've got this Rhino Shield case, which will probably end up being replaced with maybe the Apple battery case or Mophie case, just because power on this trip is gonna be super important, making sure stuff is charged. So that is going to probably be on my phone most of the time, and if not, then I will have this case, which has a screw-on thread mount for that wide angle lens. And of course, you have to have a pop socket on the case. Helps with vlogging, makes it more stable. Super nice. I love these little guys. Now, speaking of power, before I jump into the rest of what's in this bag, on the side pocket, I actually carry 2 other Samsung batteries. You can never have enough batteries with your camera. These, plus the one that is inside the camera now, will be more than enough to get me through an entire day plus some of filming. I'd say I can probably get 12 hours of battery life on that camera with these batteries, which is more than enough for a day. Now, one other thing that I'm bringing that does not live in this bag, but relates to the fact that I might be recording for 12 hours a day, is a LaCie Copilot drive by DJI. Now this thing is basically a 2 terabyte drive with an SD card reader on the side. So anytime I'm done filming for a day, I can dump the footage from the SD cards on my camera or my phone or whatever, and then plop that into this drive, and then that will actually copy everything over. And that will live probably in the hotel room in my suitcase. I don't really want to be carrying that with me, and that'll basically be a backup of every day's footage. So since this is a 10-day trip, and I will probably be doing a lot of filming and taking up a lot of space. I think this camera records about 1 gigabyte a minute. I am going to need a lot of space, and so having that 2 terabyte backup drive that doesn't require a computer that I can just dump all the footage on is great. Now the final thing in this main compartment is probably the one thing every vlogger must have, and that is a good microphone. I personally use the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. This thing is great. I have a little dead cat on it, so that way all wind noises are blocked. But this device is great for getting nice vlogging footage. Normally when I'm filming a video like this, I'll have a lav on like I do now, but I can't really set up lav mics when I'm out vlogging, and so having a little shotgun mic that I can just live on my camera turns on and off with the camera. For the most part, the video that I intend to make while I'm traveling will be more geared towards cinematics, so that's why this might not live on my camera all the time, but more so I'm gonna try to capture cinematic footage and then interlude that with some vlog footage. Now that gets me to actually my next point before I move on with this bag tour. It's that all the gear that I'm bringing is purposely brought to help me tell a story, and I have a specific story or idea of a flow that I have in mind as to how I want to film this video. And so before anything else, before you start going out and buying gear for vlogging, just know that the most important thing is, of course, story. I know a lot of YouTubers say this, but it really is true. And so all of this is basically tools to help me capture a story that I want to tell. So since I sort of know how I'm going to be filming when I'm in Israel, I've designed this bag and everything that I'm bringing to basically be a toolkit to let me capture whatever I want while I'm there and tell the best story. So you do not need all this gear to start out. I specifically have it because I know the story that I want to be telling, but for anyone else, it's gonna change. So kind of pick and choose what you like from this kit. But now let's move on to the last two compartments in this bag, probably the least interesting stuff. In here, I've just got a bunch of twist ties, these little things called bongo ties. These are great for kind of wrapping around stuff and holding things together. I use these all the time if I'm like in a pinch and I need to, let's say, mount to that little aperture light to a pole or something like that. They're great when you don't have actual mounting points for stuff. And then the last thing in this main compartment is a microfiber cloth, because for some reason lenses always happen to get dirty on me. I don't know what it is. There's always a fingerprint on them. And so having a microfiber cloth in my bag is super important. This one's actually brand new. I like to always travel with a brand new one whenever I go on a trip, just so that there is no dust or anything on it. And then I think the only other thing inside this main compartment, there's a laptop compartment, but since I'm not bringing a laptop, in here I have my selfie stick for my GoPro. I can actually pop that out. This is great if you need to film far away with the GoPro. I'm also going to use this with my 360 camera, which we'll get into in a minute. That's in another pocket of the bag. And then documentation such as passports and paperwork for the drone will also be in here. Because that's another thing, before you go to any country, actually make sure you do the research to see if all of this is allowed. Because I know for Israel, I needed a permit for the drone, so I actually had to apply for that. That'll go in this bag with it. That way there's no issues when I'm there. And then I think the last interior compartment of the bag is actually this top shell. So inside this top shell, we've got a little compartment where I put some extra SD cards. I am bringing a lot of SD cards on this trip. I think I have a 400 gig card inside the main camera. Then I've got a 128 inside the 360 camera. We'll get to that in a second. I have a 64 gig in my GoPro. Then I have another 64 gig in the drone, and then I have an extra 32 gig card that goes right inside this pocket right here. And then in this top shell compartment, this is basically my quick access stuff that I need related to the bag. So I have this thing, which is actually one of my coolest purchases. Not a lot of people know about this. I don't know how I found it, but it's basically like a lock. So I can use this to actually bike lock sort of the bag to a pole or something. And it's a retractable little device, has a key combo right there. And this is fantastic if I need to set the bag down for a minute and I don't want it to get stolen. When I actually did my cruise vlog, which was probably a year or 2 years ago, I used this to put the bag around like beach chairs that were out on the deck of the ship whenever I went swimming. That way I did not have to worry about having someone to watch my bag. So this is great. I highly recommend this if you're traveling. Again, it's just a little steel cable. It can probably be cut with a pair of pliers or something. But if you're in a pinch and you're gonna stay near the bag, this device is great to deter theft. And then the last thing in the top of this bag are some USB cables. I have a Lightning micro USB and USB-C cable and my battery bank. This battery bank is great because it has a sliding compartment with a Lightning cable. So if I need to go anywhere with it, I can just bring this and none of the cables. But I usually always keep a battery bank in my bag for some reason because something is always dead and needs to be charged. So now let's zip this bag back up and take a look at the last of what I am bringing. So that actually lives in the side of the bag. These are like the waist straps. The bag basically has a built-in fanny pack, which is pretty cool. So in here I have a Tide to Go stick. This is great if I ever spill food on myself. And some sunscreen because I am always getting sunburned. As a pale white boy, I definitely need sunscreen with me. I also have some other stuff in this side pocket, which includes some chapstick and Purell. That's basically just not camera related necessities, but things that you should always have in a travel bag. Now in this last pocket would be my Insta360 One X. It is not in there right now, but it slots in there perfectly. And I love bringing 360 cameras around whenever I'm doing anything cool like traveling or action sports, because it is great for capturing everything around you, and it is the final little piece of kit that I love bringing when I'm traveling. But that is basically everything that lives inside this backpack, and that is everything that I will be bringing. The only other thing related to tech that I am bringing with me that does not live in this backpack, this will actually go in my suitcase, is this clear bag with all the chargers and cables for watch, iPhone, cameras, whatever. I have a surge protector here with an extension cord. That's actually my favorite little piece of travel gear when it comes to powering stuff. It's got a built-in extension cord around it. And you can use this. It is fantastic if you're in a hotel room and you want to like put your phone on the night table, but the outlet is like far away. I know that happens all the time. I don't know why they always position the outlets in the most inconvenient spots. But this little clear pack will be with me in my suitcase. This doesn't need to live in my bag all the time because I'm not traveling the things when I'm actually walking around exploring. So the chargers will live in the suitcase and stay in the hotel room. But that is basically everything that will be inside my travel pack for Israel. This is a great little vlogging setup. It's nice, portable. I have everything that I need to capture basically any type of shot. And the fact that I can bring this around with me in a single backpack and not actually have it be so extremely heavy. I don't know the exact weight of this bag, but it is manageable. I have walked around with this exact setup before. So it's just great for when I'm traveling, and hopefully this gives you guys some ideas as to how to kind of pack for travel vlogging. If you guys have any questions about any of the stuff I have here, one, I'll have links down below to everything that you can purchase in the description, and those are actually affiliate links, so if you purchase using those links, I get a little kickback. But if you have any questions related to anything here, anything you'd like to know more in depth, leave a comment down below and I will respond to you if you have any questions regarding all of the tech in here. But that is my little look at my travel pack. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, and stay tuned for the actual vlog that comes out from Israel where I use all of this gear to capture the most epic cinematic vlog on an Israel trip. Anyway, thanks, subscribe, and peace out. Hey, what is going on, guys? Ben here. Now today I have a very that's no bueno. I probably just smashed a GoPro.